No one left behind is more than a standard we all live up to. It is a way of life. It is part of our mission. If you or someone you know finds themselves struggling with their mental health, please contact the Suicide and Crisis Lifeline by dialing 988 on your mobile phone or text 838 255 to speak or chat with a qualified counselor. Hello, everyone. We are getting closer and closer to Kickstands Up for year 36
Six.
of
36.
Run for the Wall. If you are new to this podcast or just the Run for the Wall family, first and foremost, welcome
It's a
home.
podcast.
Are you really? Well, hey, friend.
No, I've watched them before, but I'm new to this portion of it.
Well, see, so you all definitely aren't alone. Welcome to the Run for the Wall family. Welcome home. I'm Hitch. And as always, I'm joined with my co host, Boots.
Hello, everybody. Welcome home.
And as you can see, today we have a very special guest in studio, and that is David Buzz Mullen. And we will be getting to know him very well. And he is this upcoming run's Southern Route Coordinator. Welcome to the podcast.
Thank you much. Glad to be here.
Awesome. And if you're still wondering, like, okay, what's Run for the Wall? Run for the Wall is the largest, longest, and oldest motorcycle run in the United States in support of veterans who are MIA, KIA, and POWs. We're here doing our part in supporting the mission, saying their names and never forget. And
That's
hey,
right.
we're happy to have you all along for the ride.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And Run for the Wall being the oldest and largest cross-country motorcycle run, we could never do this. We could never pull it off without the support of so many people who generously sponsor and support our
For
mission.
sure.
Absolutely. Yeah, so I want to just note some of our sponsors. We've got Fuller Law, who has over the years, Chad Fuller has really been like part of the team, helping us out whenever we need legal counsel for Run for the Wall. It happens, but he provides legal counsel and legal protection for motorcycle riders. And if you or someone you know is in an accident, we ride motorcycles, stuff happens. Contact Chad Fuller at Fuller Law at 1-855-FULLERLAW. That's 1-855 Fuller Law, or check them out on the internet at fullerlawforriders.com. Also, the 3 coast-to-coast routes, we got the Central Route, the Midway Route, and the Southern Route, all start in Ontario, California. And we've got so many people, like 1,200 to 1,500 motorcycles and family who all converge on Ontario in May to watch Run for the Wall kick off our ride across the country. And we could never do this without the support from the Greater Ontario Convention and Visitors Bureau. So they roll out the red carpet and offer incredible hospitality for all of the Run for the Ride participants and guests and visitors and onlookers. Also, we're riding our motorcycles 3,000 miles through the desert, through the mountains, across the South, through Kansas, through Oklahoma in early summer. And riders have to stay hydrated. That's why we have hydration trailers that follow the routes and provide beverages to the participants, free of charge to the participants. But of course, those beverages aren't free. They're donated by sponsors. And a lot of the beverages, in fact, most are donated by Pepsi. And we've got not just sodas, but water and electrolyte drinks. There's also snacks available. And we also have donations from Coca-Cola. So we want to thank both of those companies for generously supporting our mission. And We have a brand new sponsor. I just spoke with them a couple days ago, Climb Riding Gear. So it's not even on our website yet. I'm still working on getting that up. But Climb Riding Gear has offered a very generous discount to Run for the Wall riders. And there's a very specific way you have to go about getting that discount.
Okay.
And those details will be on the website shortly. But, Climb Riding Gear, and I'm going to talk about that in today's tech tip. But they supply all kinds of riding gear, pants, jackets, rain gear, gloves. I think they even have helmets now. I have Climb riding gear. I've been wearing the same jacket on Run for the Wall since 2018. I'm about ready for a new one, so I might take advantage of this and buy myself a new jacket for this coming year. But yeah, Climb, thank you so much for supporting our mission and believing in what we do at Run for the Wall.
That is so exciting. I always love hearing that we are making new connections and getting new sponsors, so that hopefully translates into more F&Gs, fun new generations of riders with Run for the Wall. So
Yeah,
thank you,
absolutely.
Climb. I love it. All right, so news and events. Registration for 2026. It will be open tomorrow. We're recording this on the 10th of September. It will be open tomorrow on 9/11 at 8:46 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. Okay.
Yes.
So by the time many of you hear this, registration should be live, and we can go ahead and start getting registered for 2026.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
and I just want to add on that. If we happen to get our stuff together, so to speak, and drop this podcast today, September 10th, and you're waiting tomorrow morning at your computer for 8:46 a.m. Eastern, which incidentally is, we did that specifically to commemorate the exact time that the first plane hit the World Trade Center tower in New York on 9/11. We're doing that again because that's why we exist, to remember those who have fallen. But if you're waiting at your computer for that to tick over, it's an automation that I run. And so if it's 8:47 and it still says closed, refresh your browser screen and it will open. Okay, just letting you know, because we do have some people that sit there waiting for it to count down and time out. So at 8:46 and 1 second, you'll want to refresh that browser screen and it will automatically be open.
Is there anything for the first person who registers?
Well, to be honest, we have one rider already registered, and that would be me, because I did it to test the system, to make sure the credit card processes. And yes, I do pay for my registration. I paid $100. We all pay, regardless of your position in leadership, unless we do offer free for those who are active duty, Gold Star family, and I think POWs also, absolutely. But for those of us like me, I'm a patriot. I'm not even a veteran. I am on the board of directors and I serve as a Central Route Road Guard captain. But yeah, we still pay. We still pay just like everybody else. So it's all set to go. It processed my payment. Everything's good, and so I'm real excited for that to open tomorrow morning.
Awesome. And then you are also excited for kickstands to go up in how many days? Pop quiz, Buzz, go.
240. Oh, Buzz, you good.
I'm messing with
247.
44.
Close.
I was close. I don't. We got so much. Life is getting in the way, of course.
Yeah.
That's one of the things that we all have to deal with when we're prepping for the run.
Yeah, that's right.
And until I became the ARC this year and the RC next year, hats off to everybody that's done the RC before, because there's so much that needs to be done to make the route run as smoothly as it does. We do our best to not do things backwards, but we're sort of doing what's called in the Army backwards planning. We know what's going to happen, but we've got to work up to where it's going to happen and get all these things done. And it's amazing to me, all the things that have to be done to get to the point where we're standing in Lock D, kickstands up, everybody's cheering, everybody's happy, introducing the FNGs. There's a lot goes into it. And I'll tell you, God bless them, each and every one. I swear in God.
Yep. And so that's again going to happen. Kickstands up in 244 days.
Let me
That's
write that
right.
down.
Yeah, 244. So all coast to coast routes, all 3 routes, will depart Ontario, California on Wednesday, May 13th, 2026. And then they all will arrive in Washington, D.C. on May 22nd,
23.
22nd, Friday the 22nd, the 20th, Saturday, May 23rd, we'll all go to the wall. We gather at the Lincoln Memorial for a group picture. We go walk the Vietnam Veterans Memorial Wall. And then on Sunday, May 24th, 2026, the Sandbox route will depart from actually not Washington, D.C., but a town right next door. It's about 10 minutes from Washington, D.C. It's Springfield, Virginia. That's where the 3 coast to coast routes end. And that's where the Sandbox route starts.
All right. And if you are wondering, well, where do I stay as we're headed across country? And, how do I get my hotels and all that? The hotel lists are expected to be out January 1st. So on or about January 1st, you will be able to see the hotel lists for your prospective routes.
Yep.
What else do we have? Oh, volunteer
Volunteers.
positions.
You want to talk about that, Hitch?
Yeah. So, as Buzz was saying, there's so much that goes into planning and the backwards planning of it all, and like how Boots went over our sponsors. But we also have our internal volunteers, and it takes everyone just about to make this thing go round. And so if you are interested in signing up for a volunteer position on your route, you can do that as well. You can submit the form on the website.
That's right.
Under your route, and then you should be able to. Is that where you go to submit it? Where do you go to submit
there's
it?
a volunteer sign-up form on each of the route submenus. And we have positions open across all 4 routes for everything from tail gunners to assistant platoon leaders, fuel team, staging team, chase vehicles, merchandise trailer drivers,
chaplains,
registration team members, chaplains,
medical.
Yep.
So
absolutely.
There's a lot that goes into it. And speaking of merchandise trailers, I've been working closely with Carol Olmsted. She's the merchandiser for Southern Route and the big honcho that gets everything ready in Ontario for all the whole of Run for the Wall gets in there. And she's almost every day she posts what she has done. And we're looking for merchandise driver. We need a driver for that, but it has to be cleared through Carol and a little bit with Alan Xbox.
Yep.
He needs to be confirming this driver, because that's a huge responsibility. Not only as a driver, and if the driver is personable, Carol will probably throw him in the trailer and make him part of the sales team as well.
Probably,
yeah, probably, yeah. If she gives it the okay, she's in charge, and she will tell people what to do. I have no doubt in my military mind that she would tell people what to do and where to go
and what needs to be done
as necessary.
I don't know if Carol has a road name, but if she doesn't, we got to give her the road name of Busy, because she is always busy. She's always getting something done.
Always.
Relentless. She's we would never be able to get this thing off the ground without her. So thank you, Carol, for all that you do for Run for the Wall. We really appreciate it.
Agreed.
Yeah.
All right. So next up, we have Cruisin' for Champions. I've talked about this in previous episodes, but that is taking place Saturday, September 20th in Chatham County, North Carolina. It is being sponsored by their sheriff's office, and it will take place at Jordan Lake, and that's at White Oak Beach. And it's in support of the Special Olympics for North Carolina. It will be an escorted scenic ride that will take you through the beautiful back roads of Chatham County. It will include breakfast, lunch, music, games, as well as raffle prizes. Everyone registered will receive a custom event t-shirt, as well as a limited edition challenge coin as a thank you for supporting this cause. If you're interested in registering, you can visit their Facebook page or you can download the Chatham County Sheriff's Office mobile app. And I believe you can also visit their website. But they are very much looking forward to working alongside of our Run for the Wall riders. So if you are in or around North Carolina and interested in that ride, head over to Chatham County, North Carolina's social medias or websites.
Right on. I also want to make mention of local meetups. So, Run for the Wall, it's a once a year event in May, but there's meetups all over the United States where you can go meet up once a month with your other Run for the Wall brothers and sisters and just have some good fellowship, talk about fun stuff. So I know there's one in Arizona. I go to that a lot. I can't make the one this month. Sorry, guys, but I'll hopefully see you next month. I know they have them in Colorado, Northern California, Washington, D.C. All of that information is on the forum at forum.rftw.us. If there's not one in your area, start one. Give me a shout out. Send an email to pod@rftw.us. That's pod@rftw.us. Let me know. I'll help you get one started in your area.
Thank you, Boots. All right. So this is the portion of the podcast where we like to go into our why we ride. And that's just where we select one of our fallen heroes and say their names, never forget.
That's right. This is a very important part of Run for the Wall. And every morning on each of the routes, before we leave, when we have our all hands meeting, one of the traditions is to read the bio of a fallen soldier so that their name, that this person wasn't lost in vain. We want to remember them all from all wars, just to bring honor and remembrance to the individual who made the ultimate sacrifice. So today, we honor and remember Sergeant Leroy Davis, Jr., who served in the United States Marine Corps with Alpha Company, 3rd Anti-Tank Battalion, 3rd Marine Division, 3rd Marine Amphibious Force. Sergeant Davis was born on October 7th, 1944, and hailed from Detroit, Michigan. On September 10th, 1967, Sergeant Davis was killed in action during Operation Kingfisher in Cam Lo, Con Tien, MSR, Hill 48, Quang Tri Province, South Vietnam, as a result of hostile artillery, rocket, and mortar fire. He was just 27 days shy of his 23rd birthday. Leroy Davis Jr. is buried at St. John's Cemetery in Clinton, Louisiana. He was posthumously awarded the Purple Heart. His name is inscribed in the Vietnam Veterans Memorial Wall on panel 26 East, line 44. It is not the worst thing to die in war. It is not the worst thing to be missing in war. The worst thing is to be forgotten in war. Say their names. Tell their stories. Never forget. Sergeant Leroy Davis Jr., you are not forgotten. Your memory and sacrifice on behalf of our beloved country lives on in our thoughts and in our hearts. You will always be remembered whenever we stand and sing the words, land of the free and home of the brave. Semper Fi, Sergeant Leroy Davis Jr., we thank you for your service.
Thank you, Boots. All right, so when you opened that up, you talked about how at the start of every morning, it's one of our customs and traditions to, have those bios. And I think that's a really good segue into going into our custom and tradition that we'll be sharing on today's episode.
Yeah. So one of the customs and traditions that we love to talk about, and we just did our last podcast episode from Angel Fire, but one of those customs and traditions are the summer reunions. Usually they're in the late summer. In the case of the Angel Fire reunion, which is for riders from all the routes, not just the central route. That happens over the Labor Day weekend, and we were just there, of course. And then in September, late September, is the Texas Riders Reunion in Kerrville, Texas. And even though Angel Fire is a stop on the central route, and Kerrville is closer to the southern route. These reunions are for all riders on Run for the Wall, family members and supporters. And it's a really fun time. Angel Fire happens to be a work day where we're laying bricks at the Vietnam Veterans Memorial in Angel Fire. Kerrville is not a work day. It's just sort of a fun time, fun reunion time. And I did want to make a mention. We had this, the last podcast that we did kind of live on the grounds there at Angel Fire, and it was a little chaotic because I was trying to run through my phone as a hotspot, and we had so much stuff going on and guests that I didn't know if they were going to show up or not. I actually forgot to mention something that's really important to that Angel Fire reunion, and that is the work that's done in advance by a couple of individuals who just work their tails off for the Run for the Wall mission. Kenny Scooter Keelan, who's one of the road guards on the Central Route, and Catherine Little E. Ewing, who's the head of registration and check-in for the Central Route. They were there for almost a whole month before this. The motorhome, they brought up their RV and parked it on the grounds there and lived there. Kenny brought his tractor up to prepare the grounds because, all those bricks, all the land has to be prepared in advance. And just all of the organization that went into that. Each brick was cataloged, and there's a big chart so we know where they go, so that when family members and loved ones show up and they want to find the brick of their loved one, they can look it up and go find it. So it's important that everything stays in order. But, Scooter and Catherine really worked their tails off for this, and they were there before everybody got there, and I know they were there after everybody left. So thank you guys very much for all you do. Now I want to turn my attention a little bit to the Texas Riders Reunion. It's coming up. It's just a few weeks away, September 26th through 28th in Kerrville, Texas. All of the information on this is on Facebook. So if you go to Facebook and you just search on Texas Riders Reunion, you'll find the link and all the information. There is a registration form. If you go to the Files tab, I went there this morning and looked. On Facebook, there's a PDF file that downloads it. They're having a barbecue. I saw some notes on there from Roger Mead, Cowboy, who's doing a barbecue. I think that's on Friday night. And for those of you who are in attendance, he says, bring your own steak knives. I don't know what that. Yeah. So
Old School. Believe it or not, I got a call from Old School this week, and he told me to make sure, like I said, bring a sharp knife with you because Cowboy don't have enough. And Old School has donated 50 12-ounce ribeyes for the barbecue.
Wow.
And
That's
I know
great.
that, Cowboy talk, and I'm the chief cook and bottle washer at the Early Bird Barbecue. So I'll be not flipping burgers and dogs this year, but I'll be flipping steaks. Hopefully everybody likes them rare or medium rare. That makes it easier for me. But
Oh my goodness.
So I'll be working the grills. I mean, we got 2 or 3 because if I got 50 steaks to cook, it's going to be a chore. But it's always a great time. There's great rides that are planned through the hill country and great apple pies. It's just a great time. Yeah, wink, wink, nod, nod. I saw that.
I'll have to put that on my radar for
go.
next year because I'm already planning on being out of town that weekend.
But it's good. And we also need to remember the folks in Kerrville who lost 137 people to the flooding.
Yeah.
If nobody else does, I'm going to do a moment of silence for those families. And it's a horrible thing that happened, but it was in God's plan. I can't say, I'm not really a religious guy anymore, but he did that on purpose to test us. It's a test. And but we need to keep those families in our hearts and minds over this celebration weekend that we're going to be having.
Absolutely. Was there anything else about the reunion you wanted to talk about, Boots or Buzz?
No, I'm not into the details.
Okay.
Philip Juice Tutton is the guy that's running the operation.
Okay.
Cowboy is opening up. He and Sam are opening up their home. to the early bird, what used to be the early bird barbecue, but now it's the early bird barbecue on Friday evening, taking the place of the dinner we're going to have at the VFW there in town. So that's why we're doing the barbecue at Cowboy's place, and it'll be a fun time. He usually has 40 motorcycles parked in his driveway. I get there early enough I can park mine in the garage. So I guess that's one of the perks of being the chief cook and bottle washer. But
Awesome.
no other specifics. And Juice puts out information on the Texas Riders Reunion Facebook page.
Okay.
And Cowboy posts on Facebook page as well.
All right.
Great.
Well,
Great.
since you are getting warmed up on the mic, this is the perfect time for us to jump into getting to know you better. As I mentioned before, Buzz is going to be Southern Route's route coordinator this year. And one of the reasons we feel it's super important to get all the route coordinators in as early as possible and let you all know who they are is because once those boots hit the ground, they have so much to do, and they may have time to interact with riders on their routes, but for the most part, they are at the mercy of the people who have been waiting on us, and they are, showing hospitality on part of Run for the Wall for the people who have waited for hours and donated lunches and breakfasts and doing ceremonies and shaking hands, kissing babies, handing out plaques and all that. So this is the opportunity for us to get an inside look on who our route coordinators are. So with that being said, like Buzz, how did you even find out about Run for the Wall? Who introduced you to Run for the Wall?
Well, that started way back in probably 2013. I was riding with Rolling Thunder here in town, and one of the members there was Joseph Gump Hudson, a former POW, repatriated POW, and he said, "Hey, you want to try this?" I said, "Sure." And so that was back in 2014, and that was my FNG year, and I was fortunate enough to ride in Cowboy's platoon, and he was first platoon leader.
Okay.
But prior to that, Cowboy was living in town, and he had me going like 3 or 4 check rides before he say, "Yeah, you can ride with me." And
so Buzz, when you say in town, where are you located? Like, where are you from?
I'm sorry, I'm in El Paso, and
in El Paso, Texas. Okay.
Gump is only about a quarter mile away from my house as the crow flies.
Okay.
But we
I
feed
really
him.
like to ask people where they're from. That way, especially new riders, they really get a picture that people come from all over the place. Hawaii.
We've even had
Alaska, like all over the place.
Soldiers and sailors from the Netherlands. We've had people from Australia, from Canada, riding the Southern Route, and I'm confident that it happens with Sandbox, Midway, and Central as well. And it's great to have, because we're a worldwide organization, even though we don't ride worldwide, but it's there. We have people coming from all over the place to come ride with Run for the Wall. And I've been doing it since 2014.
Okay. Always Southern?
Well, in 2016, my wife decided she'd want to ride with me. And in that year, Gump, my wife and I, hit all 3 routes. We did 2 days on Central Route, took a day to get to the Midway Route, rode 2 days with the Midway Route, tapped out at Forest City, Arkansas, headed south to Meridian, Mississippi the next day, and then rode in with the Southern Route from there.
Wow, that's great.
All 3 routes, but all in one ride. Everybody goes, "You don't belong to us." I said, "Well, here's my registration form." So yeah, it was interesting. It was, and my wife and I and Gump did our first. Well, our first outreach mission that year. It was my wife's first outreach mission, and we went to northwest Georgia to visit a MIA family. I'd say a young lady. She was older, but that was a very moving portion of the run that year because she talked to us for about, there was a group that went on the outreach. It was like an all-day mission. And she was telling us her story about her son. Sometimes she was laughing. We were laughing. Sometimes we were crying. And I swear, we were boo-hooing a lot during that outreach mission. So outreach missions are good. We not only get the word out about Run for the Wall, we also visit families who are in need and they need support along the route. We don't just ride, 10 days across, eating everybody's food and all that. We do other things as well.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. So Buzz, why do you ride, or who do you ride for if there's someone in particular?
Yeah, I've got a friend from high school named Scott Saylor. His name is on the wall. Karen's dad's on the wall. And I ride for my brother. He didn't die in the war. He died because of the war. He had a tough time. He was if anybody saw the movie We Were Soldiers, it depicted a battle that my brother was in.
Wow.
And during that battle, he lost his leg and wounded in the back by a mortar round. So I ride for him. And I ride for the warrant officer that was riding with Gump when they got ambushed in Nazaria. So I take his picture with me. I take my brother's picture. And those are the people that I ride for.
Now, you mentioned 2014 was your F&G year and that you've been doing the run since. So you've done it every year aside from
I
COVID?
didn't do it 2015.
Okay.
But my wife and I did it in 16, and I was either all the way or participant every year since then.
Okay.
Now, my participant was either go on my 20th wedding anniversary or go on Run for the Wall. So I compromised and did Las Cruces to Grand Prairie with the Southern route. So yeah.
Wait, so your anniversary falls during the run every year?
I'm sorry, say that again?
Your anniversary falls during the run every year.
Yes,
then.
on the 30th of May is our wedding anniversary.
Oh my gosh.
So yeah, so now I'm going to do, I already broke the news to the wife that I'm going to do the sandbox route this year. Oh, you are? So, God bless her. She puts up with what I'm having to do and what I have done. And what
this
I'm
sounds like
planning to do.
conversations in my house, Buzz.
But like,
My
look,
wife
so
supports me grudgingly at times, but then again, I'm with PGR missions and American Legion riders. I stay busy out here in El Paso.
So suffice to say, advice for all riders when we get to that question. Part of your advice will be if you're not married and you're planning on getting married, steer away from like May, early June.
Right.
Check.
Which, funny enough, are the top months to get married.
Yeah, well,
like May, June.
that was my 20th wedding anniversary, and in 2027 will be my 30th. So
Wow.
right now we're at 28 years and counting, and we're still both alive to talk about it. But
amen to that.
She's a great woman. I love her to death, and she puts up with me.
Well, we appreciate her for.
We really do.
Like,
and we spend so much time thanking our sponsors. I just want to take a moment because
absolutely, there you go.
I spend so much time on Run for the Wall stuff. The listeners have no idea.
Right.
At least an hour a day, sometimes more, like days like today. But I want to just thank my wife, Kelly, for putting up with all of the Run for the Wall stuff, the board meetings, the time away from home, all the road guard stuff, worrying because, when we are road guards, sometimes we're putting ourselves at risk for the safety of the pack. and everything else. So Kelly, I know you watch these, so thank you very much.
And then she
I
actually
appreciate it.
comes out
Watch
to
that.
meet you.
Yeah,
She does.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, my wife meets us in Las Cruces,
Okay.
and she wears, and she rode with me on 2018. She was diagnosed with the very beginning of breast cancer.
Okay.
Oh,
It's called microcalcifications, and in 2018, I was riding as assistant in APL,
Okay.
and I tapped. We were overnighting in Chandler on the Thursday before we hit Las Cruces, and I got everybody in place at the overnight in Chandler, and then I rode all night to get to El Paso so I could be there in the morning when we got the results from the oncologist.
Okay.
And thankfully, he got it all, and she hasn't had a relapse or any hasn't gone. It's gone, and she has good. She's X-rays are good, everything's good. So I get home, and we got back from the hospital, so I'm getting ready to meet everybody in Las Cruces. Can I ride with you? Yeah. So I said, okay, yeah, we can ride. So I had to empty the bike out for a one-person ride and get it set up for a two-person ride. So God bless her, and every year, where's your wife? Everybody who's ridden with her, and she was very outgoing. And she had, she's a joy to be with.
That's
Honestly,
awesome to
and
hear.
everybody loves her. Every year, Patio asks where she is, and they meet up in Las Cruces. So she supports me grudgingly at times, but she does.
That's awesome to hear, Buzz. Now, you mentioned being APL. For those of you all
Mhm.
who don't know, that's assistant platoon leader. And that
right.
kind of leads us to one of our next questions, which is what
But wait,
positions have you held on the run?
before we get that,
What's
your
that?
wife's name, Buzz, is Blanca. Is that right?
Blanca, yes.
Blanca. Okay,
Okay.
great. So Blanca, thank you for participating. Thank you for letting Buzz do all this stuff. Thank you
Yes.
from the bottom of our hearts for all the sacrifices you make so that Buzz can come out and play with us on Run for the Wall. So,
Yep. And I give her a pin every year because she's
For sure.
a participant in a certain way. Because she helps fund me doing Run for the Wall. She's the financier for the household.
Yep.
So when I go and Run for the Wall, I'm doing okay.
mm-hmm.
All right. So the question stands APL, assistant platoon leader. That's what that means. So that's a position you've held in the past. What other positions have you held aside from the assistant platoon leader and now route coordinator?
Oh, I've been tail gunner several times. Tail gunner platoon leader. I worked in the support platoon as the bag man for Mike Kaiser when he was the finance guy. Not what Double D and Backseat did, but he transported money to and from, and he handled that. And I was what Captain America said, I was his bag man. And Lenny was the platoon leader. Big Red was the platoon leader, and for whatever reason, Mojo tapped out on the Odessa, and he made me the tail gunner. So I was tail gunner for the support platoon, plus helping Mike Bonehead Kaiser with dropping money at the banks. So I was busy that year, and I was road guard for 2 years, 23 and 24. I miss it. I really do. But we were so short on road guards this year. When Lenny had somebody ride as the ARC, in the formation, I rode for Doc and his road guard team. So I've done that. And of course, I was assistant route coordinator for this year's run.
Mhm.
And now I'm honchoing the Southern route for 2026.
So if you get bored riding up there in the 6-pack, are you going to drop out and go road guard a little bit?
But I'll plead the fifth on that one.
Okay, good.
But the route coordinator for Sandbox, and I want to be road guard and Sandbox in 2026.
Great. So how do you prepare yourself for a run for the wall, both physically and emotionally?
Emotionally, it's on my mind all year long, needless to say. And as the ARC and now the RC, it's fully on my mind. Mentally, I know it's coming. So, and I've been through it enough times to know that it's a mission. It's not a fun ride by any stretch of the imagination. Even though we enjoy riding, we have a mission.
Mm-hmm.
So that's what I'm going to concentrate on. We have these little cards that we passed out as road guards, and I'm going to put one of these in each of the packets that are handed out at the registration at the Elks Lodge in Ontario.
It's a good idea.
Yeah, and physically, I go on rides as much as I can, and for as long as I can. I know in March I go out to Phoenix on the 23rd for the Piesta Memorial. I do the new Pony Express mission for the PGR, so I ride as much as I can. And American Legion riders, we ride for supporting veterans organizations here in El Paso. So I'm doing that as well. So I'm riding as much as I can for as far away as I can. And if not, I'll just, maybe ride out to Phoenix and ride back or something like that.
So, in fact, you were actually, when I called you this morning to remind you, you were on your way to a PGR mission, were you not?
Yes, that was, yeah. We're going to pick up the cremains in Van Horn. And I was looking at, okay, we're going to be out to Van Horn at 1:00. Oh, okay, I can do the podcast in the morning, but I had a big time senior moment, and I was only like 15 minutes away from the house when Boots gave me a call. I said, "Holy crap! Okay, let me turn around. I'll be there in about 15 minutes," and here I am.
Well, we appreciate you for turning around.
Yeah, thanks for that.
No, it was on me. Senior moment, big time.
It's okay.
Yeah, no big deal. Happens to all of us,
doesn't it?
Uh-huh.
Listen,
You young
it happened to
whippersnapper.
me last night.
Young. Hey, I'm almost 40.
Wow.
Wow,
I'm
I'm older than you, Boots.
75. I'm almost 75.
No, I'm 58, but that's almost 40, isn't it?
Well, that's still young to me. And you're what, 29, Hitch?
No, I'm in my 40s.
Oh, no, you're supposed to shake your head yes.
Oh, no.
Thank you for the compliment.
I do not want to go backwards that way.
There we go. Well, you know
Life,
who Jack Benny
life
is?
is good.
Yeah, there you go. There you go.
Oh, man.
If I had to go back, I'd like to go back knowing what I know now.
Yeah.
Oh, for sure.
Exactly.
Absolutely.
With the same resources. All right. Oh boy, you mentioned that Run for the Wall is like on your mind year round. And with it being on your mind year round, I'm wondering if you have like a most memorable Run for the Wall experience. Like what's like one of those memories that's up there?
Yeah, I've got one of those, and it involves Gump again. I think it was 2019.
Okay.
He and I were bunking at the host hotel, and we got the invite to get up at stupid early in the morning and go wash the wall before all the tourists came.
Wow.
And when we visited the wall as Run for the Wall, I did okay. And we went there and they had hoses and we had other people from the other routes. And so we washed the wall, and I was doing good until we finished. And Gump and I were standing right where the two pieces of the wall meet, and I was glad he was with me because I lost it. Because that's an honor to be able to wash the Vietnam Veterans Memorial Wall.
Yeah.
And I was so honored to do that. Yes, it was manual labor, but to do that, the rest of the country that came to visit the wall could see that it was cleaned,
Mm-hmm.
that it was presentable, and make a good impression for those visiting over the Memorial Day weekend.
Yeah.
So that's my most memorable thing, and my thanks to Gump for being there for me.
I'm
Yeah.
glad you got that opportunity, especially like as someone who does not live here, because
Mhm.
I talked about this before. Like I was born in DC and raised in DC. Like
Mhm.
I grew up riding my bike downtown all the time, and with some of the jobs that I've had, like that opportunity to go wash the wall, like it always comes around. Like, hey, do you want to go
Mhm.
wash the wall? So
Yeah.
I'm glad that you had that opportunity because not many
Not
people
many
get
people
it.
will have that opportunity.
Exactly.
Yeah. Yeah.
So that's the most memorable run for the wall moment I've had.
So Buzz, I gotta stick this in there just for a second. I have spoken with Gump about coming on this podcast, and because he's got an incredible story, and I think it would be
Oh, yeah.
interesting for people to hear. But he is technologically challenged. Can you help
Yeah.
him?
Okay. I think it was for this year's run. Hitch got a hold of him and told him that she would like him to be the subject of the podcast.
Uh-huh.
And
That's right.
he called, "Hey, Buzz, they want me to do a podcast. Can I come over to your place and you can
Right.
sit with me?"
Yep.
And with the questions that are asked, I would think I would want to be there for him.
Yeah.
Okay,
Some
great.
of the,
Let's
yeah.
do that. We'll get I'll
If you can talk him into it, I'll be sitting next to him.
Gump, I'm going to be calling you. I'm just telling you
Yep.
right now. I'm calling you again. We're going to get you on the schedule. All right.
Yeah, he's my boy.
Right on. So I have a question because I'm
Send
a
it.
food guy. I love food. What's the best meal that you've had on Run for the Wall?
I think in the early years, we used to stop in Odessa, and they had fried catfish, chitlins, all that good stuff there. And they had a company come in and fry the fish and have it, and I loved it there. And
I hope that was a dinner stop.
yeah, Odessa's the overnighter, so yeah, it
Yeah.
was. And
Be falling
that
asleep on
was
your
really
bike
good.
after a meal like that.
Yeah, and I've had other good meals. There's the Harley Davidson dealer in Bristol, Tennessee. We stopped there. Yeah, it's pulled pork, but it's a great stop. I enjoy going there. And as a matter of fact, my neighbor, well, he used to be my neighbor. He got out of the service and moved back to Bristol. And he comes up and meets me every year at the Harley dealer there. So he and I I call him my grandson. He calls me grandpa.
Oh,
So he's a great kid too. He was an air traffic controller.
that's awesome.
Oh, that's great. Yeah.
All right. My favorite question.
Here we go.
What is your road name, which we already know, and how did you get it?
Here we go.
Here we go.
Okay.
These are always the juicy stories. What
Yeah,
happened?
this one's good. You're gonna like this one. My dad, of course, same last name, Mullen.
Mhm.
And when he was around, his nickname was Moon Mullins, named after the newspaper cartoon that was called Moon Mullins. So his his nickname was Moon.
Okay.
When I was in the service, my battalion commander, I was a battery commander. He knew me as Moon. So that's what I was going to choose for my road name. I worked for the post office and I was working the downtown office, and I'd ride my motorcycle in every day. It was winter time, and I came in, I had my helmet on, I had my windbreaker pants, and I had my puffy post office jacket, and I had my backpack on. And you look just like Buzz Lightyear. So that's how I got the name. Hold on, guys. Don't turn it off. And when I left the downtown office,
Oh,
they
there it
gave me
is.
this.
Oh my
You do look like
gosh.
Buzz Lightyear.
So that's how I got the road name Buzz. And I'm holding my stomach in when I stand up.
Stop.
So that's how I got my road name Buzz, and it's carried on since then.
It's cute.
right.
I
Even-
like it.
Yeah, even my stepkids, I have a stepson, a stepdaughter. When I'd come in from work, they'd go like Buzz Lightyear does in the movies, and they'd make fun of me
They
too.
play too much.
So that's how I got my road name.
Oh.
Right on. So now, next question. I know the answer because I
Here
got
we
one
go.
sitting right over my shoulder right here.
Uh-huh.
But what do you ride?
I ride this year. Since the 22 season, 22 ride, I have a 2022 Harley Ultra Limited Apex paint job on that one.
Mhm.
And I also have a 2012 Ultra CVO that Baby Buzz rode. Daddy, can I use your other bike? Mine took a dump on me. Sure, honey. So she came out and she rode 25 as a road guard on my CVO.
Wow.
Yeah, and she rides like her hair's on fire. And she loves being a road guard. She loves being a road guard, as does her old man.
Yep. That's great.
You got that, right?
I know.
Yeah.
There we go.
All right. Advice for F and Gs.
Learn as much as you can by podcasts such as this. Prepare yourself. If not used to riding in a pack, this is going to be an experience for you, a learning experience. And it's also a very emotional ride as well. There's several places we stop on the southern route that are really tear jerkers for me, even after all these years. They need to be open to suggestions on how to ride in a pack if they haven't done it much or if they haven't done it at all. As a matter of fact, I was talking to my platoon coordinator, and when he was a platoon leader this year, a 4th platoon, he had a rider with his group that didn't ride in a pack. And this guy was so overwhelmed that he almost dropped out. But he and his leadership team coached the guy on how to do it, what to do. And instead of dropping out, he said, I'm coming back next year because Bravo 6 and his wife, Baby Doll, and their tail gunners coached him. And yes, and if you're a long-time rider and first time on Run for the Wall, you have to be cognizant of the fact that you're riding in a pack, a big pack, and use your talent as a rider, but also listen to your platoon leaders, assistant platoon leaders and tail gunners, and the road guards as they come by. They will make on-the-spot corrections on the way back from doing bump and runs and such as that. But they just need to be prepared to ride in a pack and take suggestions well.
Yes.
And not get upset and start going off. We can't have that.
Yeah.
It's going to be tense enough as a pack riding in with people you don't know. But once you get 2-3 days into it, you know the people you're riding next to, and you become a better rider in the pack.
Yeah, that's great. Do you have any particular tip for all riders, not just FNGs?
But you have to be physically prepared, naturally, and you have to come in with the attitude of being able to accomplish the mission. And us as leaders It's our job to get you across the country so the mission can be completed. It's for me, it's enjoyable, but it's also healing and brings back memories. And, and I will stand next to anybody who's having a hard time. I will talk to them. My shoulders are big enough. They're getting older, but they can still help somebody to rest their head on if necessary. FNGs needs to work hard and they need to pay attention.
Thanks for that. All right, so we know that you are route coordinator for the upcoming year. Do you have any other plans as far as 2026? Like, is your wife coming along for this one, or anything else happening special?
I'd like her to, but she has a hard time. She has bad knees and hard time getting up and down off the bike. Not all the time does she agree with my riding style. So that has been an issue in the past.
I tried to keep a straight face. I did.
Yeah. But I'll ride up to the Piesta Memorial that happens on the 23rd of March every year. And I encourage everybody to join us up there. It's for Lori Piesta. She is the first Native American female to die in combat. And it's a good memorial. We get Lenny showed up this year. Kaiser showed up. I've had can't remember his name. He's married to Lorianne.
And where is it, Buzz? It's in Texas?
It's in Phoenix.
Oh, in Phoenix, Arizona. Okay.
They have a small mountain named Piesta Peak.
Okay.
And there's a dinner that's usually on the evening of the 22nd. And then on the morning of the 23rd of March, we meet at the bottom of the hill. Well, we escort the family over from their hotel to the Memorial Park, and then we ride into the park, and then we have Hopi dancers. We have the Navajo Nation there, and they have speakers, usually from the one of the tribes, the Navajo tribes, and people who have assisted with the Piesta Memorial. Of course, I just do as much writing as I can with my various organizations I'm members of.
Okay. Yeah, I just pulled it up so that I can read about her. Thanks for that. All right. So you all have gotten an inside look at, who Buzz is. So if you see him in Ontario, if you're considering Southern Route, or for a fact you'll be on Southern Route, this is the route coordinator. And yeah, don't be shy.
Nope. Come join me. If you like riding in the desert, this is the place to do it. If you want to ride in rain, snow, and cold, Central Route and Midway's the one for you. And I encourage everybody to go on the Sandbox route. This will be my first time on the Sandbox, but I'll probably know a lot of the people that will be joining me in 26 on the Sandbox route. I've been up to Marcellus, Illinois, right at the second year of COVID. Me, Baby Buzz, and Gump took a back roads ride up to Marcellus. And of course, Joe Gump knew a lot of the names on the wall. And I was glad to be there with him when he needed me, and he did. He's, very passionate about the Mideast conflicts wall and the Vietnam Wall.
Yeah.
He keeps up with the people who've been posted and should be posted. So he's very conscientious, and he's my man.
Thanks, Buzz.
So, Buzz, one last thing on Southern Route. I know that there's some talks going on right now about a little change up on the very last stop of the very last day from Marshall into Springfield. Do you want to talk about that at all?
No,
not yet.
No, I can't talk about it yet.
Okay.
I was instructed not to include any information I have in my
Okay.
newsletter. So I have to keep that one close to the vest.
All right. So you'll have to stay tuned for that if
Yeah.
and when we're ready to release information.
Yep.
Yes, yeah. And that'll come from the board of directors.
Okay. Sounds good.
And you know that.
I should have known that.
Yeah.
I was like, all right. Well, Boots, it is back to you for tech tips with Ted.
Oh my goodness. Tech tips with Ted. Okay. Great. So we're here end of summer, beginning of fall. The weather's changing and it's going to start getting wet. Of course, here in northern Arizona where I live, we're at the tail end of monsoon season. So I've been having wet weather riding for the last month at least. But
El Paso too.
yeah, you never know when you're going to get caught in a downpour. Sometimes you do, sometimes you don't. But it's important to understand there's a few fundamentals that you need to know about safely riding in wet weather. So the first thing is a no-brainer: slow down. Okay.
Mhm.
You got to increase your following distance. You have to give your tires time to react to the amount of water that's on the road, and just to slow down and take everything
Mhm.
really at a nice, easy pace. Okay. Another big tip is to be smooth. You have to be smooth in order to ride safely in the rain. On the racetrack, you know, I race a lot. We're always at the limit of adhesion, even in the dry. And we have a saying on the racetrack that slow is smooth and smooth is fast. You have to be smooth in order to be fast, but you have to go slow in order to be smooth. Now, I'm not advocating riding fast in the wet weather, although I have raced in the rain on the racetrack, but I'm talking about street riding now. I want to take that slow is smooth and smooth is fast and tweak it just a little bit for street riding in the wet. Slow is smooth and smooth is safe, because that's what we're all about on the street, is riding safely. So you need to slow down to be smooth and be smooth to be safe. And what part of the way you do that is to relax. If possible, keep an easy grip. Don't white knuckle those handlebars like you're holding two eggs and you don't want to smash them. Just nice, relaxed, easy grip on the handlebars. Be really smooth. And when it comes to braking, you want to apply both brakes progressively. We never grab the brakes. We never jam on the brakes. We never stab at the brakes. You want to ease them on very progressively so that you load your tire before you work the tire.
Mhm.
And when you slow down, you will be braking lighter and longer so that you don't slide the tires and you don't lose traction and you can stop safely. Okay. And talking about sliding the tires, just because you slide your tires a little bit doesn't mean you've crashed or that you're about to crash. Tires move around. All right. And that's something that you can get used to by practicing. I talk about practicing a lot. Practice in a parking lot with appropriate safety gear and make sure that everything is safe around you. Or get a little dirt bike. I've got one right over my shoulder here, and go out and practice in the dirt, because you can slide around the dirt and get to know what it feels like when the tires give a little bit when you're on a little dirt bike, as opposed to riding a giant, Harley, BMW, Goldwing, Indian, whatever you're riding. Also, I can knock that dirt bike over many, many times and not do any damage to it. Whereas if you dump a big street bike, you're going to damage it. All right. So practice, practice, practice. Also know that water is not a lubricant. Okay. Yes, water does come down on the road and sometimes it does pull oil up to the surface, and that is a lubricant. But just because the roads are wet doesn't mean they're just going to be slick as, anything. So know that your tires can slide a little bit and you're going to be fine. Also, one of the things that I coach a lot riders is to have a high horizon. Pick that chin up, look ahead. You don't want to be looking right down in front of the bike. Watch for debris on the road, especially leaves. Leaves are especially slippery. Leaves on a wet road are, I think, one of the most dangerous things I've ever encountered. They are so slippery. So, if, a lot of our riders are riding in a place where we're going to have fall coming up. We're going to have leaves on the road. It's going to be damp in the morning, damp in the evenings, or raining during the day. If you see those leaves there, approach with extreme caution. Railroad tracks get especially slippery. I I know road guards who have had problems with railroad tracks. And painted lines, any type of fog line, dotted line, double yellow line, try to stay away from those because those can be super slippery. And one of the most important things, again, I'm going to be on my tire soapbox. They're going to change my road name to Tread, I guess, because I'm always harping on and on about tires. But one of the best things you can do happens in your garage before you even leave your garage to go on a ride. And that's make sure that your tires are not worn out or just simply old. You want to make sure that they have good tread depth. You need at least 2 to 3 millimeters for water dispersion. All right. And that's not the legal limit. The legal minimum for a motorcycle tire tread depth is 2/32 of an inch. That's about 1.5 millimeters. But I just all the time, even last weekend, I see people running around with their tires down to the cords, and I don't understand why. Because even with tires as expensive as they are today, it's less expensive to put a fresh set of tires on your bike than to repair your bike after a crash or repair yourself after a crash.
Yeah.
All right. Another great tip for navigating wet weather is to ride in the tire tracks of a car or truck. That's one of my favorite things to do is I'll spot an 18-wheeler, I'll follow at a safe distance, and I'll ride right in that left tire track because he's already pushed that water out of the way and there's less chance for hydroplaning. All right. It's a great thing to do. Have proper rain gear. Also, Run for the Wall is sponsored by both Climb and Nelson Rig. I have sets of Climb rain gear and Nelson Rig. They're both excellent. The Nelson Rig is a little less expensive. The Climb rain gear is more expensive, but it offers other things that the Nelson Rig doesn't have, like breathable rain gear, which can be really important. You want to make sure that anything you wear is reflective. A full face helmet is preferred because, even little rain hitting your face can hurt and be distracting, cause you to go down. And if you have a full face helmet, you want to use an anti-fog shield or a pin lock, something so that you can stay clear. Now, the last thing I want to say about riding in the rain is body position. And again, this is something you have to practice in a parking lot. You don't want to go out in the wet and try, using your body position to reduce lean angle for the first time on your, big road bike. So again, lean angle equals risk. And anything you can do to reduce risk is good. So if you adjust your body position so that you're off the motorcycle on the inside of the turn, you get your body off the bike. That means you can carry less lean angle and carry the same cornering arc. That way you stay off of the edge grip or the edge of the tire where there's less grip, and you're on the meat or the center of the tire where there's more grip. So again, that's something you want to practice in a parking lot and understand how to do so that when you're out in the rain on the roads in real conditions, it's not the first time you're doing it, and you're well aware of how to adjust your body position to reduce your lean angle and reduce risk and stay safe on the road. That's Tech Tips with Ted.
Thanks, Foods. And it's
Tires.
smooth is slow.
Tread.
Smooth is
Tread.
slow, and slow.
No, slow is
slow is
smooth,
smooth, and
and
smooth,
smooth
is
is
safe.
safe.
Okay. And at Run for the Wall, safety is priority. And
Absolutely.
also, in the words of Kirk Pretty Boy Olsen, this is not a race.
It's not.
Right? This is not a
It's
race.
not. And you know what? I just want to dovetail on that because a lot of the material that I just said, I didn't invent. A lot of that is what's taught at the Yamaha School of Champions Riding School. And they have several different levels of classes that you can take. They also have an online course that you can take that doesn't involve riding, but is an excellent course, and I've taken it. But, those guys out there, Nick Einach and Cody Wyman, and all of the instructors, Kyle Wyman, Cody's brother, at the Yamaha School of Champions Riding School, really know their stuff. They've got a street school that you can take. It is held on a racetrack, but it is not at race paces, and it is not on race bikes. You take your own bike and your own street gear, and they have excellent instructors who help you understand body position, help you understand the concept of braking lighter, longer, help you understand all sorts of fundamentals to keep you safe and riding in the dry and in the wet, in a pack condition or group riding condition, pack condition, or just out on your own cruising down a canyon road. I cannot recommend that enough. It's well worth the price. And there are other riding schools around, like Ride Like a Pro. I want to mention them too, because that's a very good school with a slightly different curriculum. But these things are essential if you want to ride for a long time and keep yourself safe on the road.
Alrighty. So, moving on to our listener letters, we did have a couple of comments that were posted on our YouTube page under the last episode. So, at Jim ECD473 says, "Who?" Question mark. Great podcast and a very touching song. And if y'all don't know, that's Jim McDonough, and he's who?
And I'll just have to take this one opportunity because I never go a podcast episode without mentioning Horton. So Horton, here's a who. That's all I'm going to say about that.
Is that the same who we know?
Yes.
Okay, got it.
Yeah. And Horton is going to be like, why does he have to talk about me every episode?
Who?
All right.
thing.
And then we have at Andre Sanders 57309 says, "Joseph, I loved the song. Very moving words, and my allergies are kicking in. TED tips are always important. Good one. Hitch, thanks for keeping it going. Is it May yet?" And then lastly, we have at James Graybeard Carter 2. "Will the song be available to buy on iTunes? I want to purchase this for my writing playlist." Boots, what's the answer to that question?
I will answer that. First of all, Graybeard, thanks for writing in. He's going to be a rookie road guard on the Central Route this year, and we're looking forward to having him. And sorry to the staging team lead that I keep stealing all your stagers. Yes, it's not available for download right this second, but I'm going to put it up this afternoon so that you can download it from the Run for the Wall website. It's not on iTunes. We're still figuring out how to make all that happen. And, that's honestly, it's on my back burner, but I will create a download link. It'll be on the website sometime later today, and you can download it and put it onto your Apple Music or whatever you use to listen to your music with. All right, there you go.
Thank you. All right, you all. So that brings us to the end of today's episode. Don't forget that registration should be open or about to open shortly after, you're hearing this. And if you're looking for more information on Run for the Wall, you can find us at www.rftw.us. We also want you to be social with us and share your experiences, your tips, tricks, advice, or anything that, that you would like to share. If you're interested in joining us on the podcast and have a special message that you think should get out to everyone, please let us know. You can write to us at pod@rftw.us. Do either of you have any final words before we wrap up this episode?
Ride safe. See you in May.
All right.
That's
so
right.
Until next time, how far are we going?
All the way.
That's right.
See y'all.
We need to practice that, Ted. We didn't do it in unison.
Thanks for joining us, Buzz.
Thank you. Thank you for letting me.